It's the InWheelTime Car Talk Show. Just ahead, Matt Martelli and the new Ford Raptor.
Yep.
Race truck. Jeff has the cruise in and events calendars. Plus, we'll have this week's top automotive news stories. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars. We always need more Jeff Seekin. David Ainsley is vacationing in the UP of Michigan, and he called in earlier just to take the screwdriver and put it in just a little bit further. Trick that.
I thought he was calling in sick for a minute, but he didn't sound. He didn't sound.
Well,
sick.
he is sick.
Well, he's sick. But he didn't sound
there,
sick.
There is that. Yeah. But anyway, just to rub it in, it was like, I don't know, 65 degrees up there. Well, he's drinking his coffee on the lake. Oh, well.
On the porch, watching the boats go.
Yeah. That. Anyway, so that's what he's doing. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us today. Let's get right to it. And let's talk to Matt Martelli and the debut of the Ford Raptor T1 at the Casey Folks Vegas to Reno run.
Right.
Well, good morning to you, Matt. It's good to see you. Good to talk to you. And let's find out, first of all, about you. Who are you and who are you with?
Oh, absolutely. I'm the CEO of Unlimited Off-Road Racing. We run the American Off-Road Racing Championship, which is now the largest off-road racing championship in the world. So pretty exciting year for us. And, you know, like you were alluding to, the T1 Raptor is coming to race with us. It's making its American debut. So we're really excited about that. It's a very unique vehicle, and we're excited to see what it does in our style of racing.
Why did Ford decide to go with you for its American debut in this race?
Well, it's interesting because these cars are what's called rally raid cars. So they're used to doing multi-stage events, usually about 300 miles per stage. And they have limited travel. So it means that most of the courses we run in North America are too rough for them. So this particular race is very smooth. It's a lot of graded roads, and it's 550 miles. So it would effectively be the longest stage that any one of these vehicles has ever run consecutively in one day. So they saw it as a really good opportunity to connect the dots with the European style of racing of rally raid and the discipline that they're racing at Dakar, and American off-road racing.
So is the truck built for off-road racing and they were putting it on the street? Is that basically it?
No, it's racing off-road. So it's built for milder conditions than what we normally race in America.
Like Baja.
Yeah, like Baja or the Mint 400. The Mint 400 in particular is the roughest race we have all year. And so our vehicles have bigger tires, more horsepower, more suspension. They're actually the only form of racing that is truly unlimited. If you can build it and dream it and bring it and race it, then it's on.
So this is the Ford built and designed truck for this race, but it can obviously do other races as well. But they've decided that, hey, we're going to put it in this race and put it up against all of these hot rod folks, for lack of a better term, and see what it does.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. This particular car was designed by Ford in conjunction with M Sport out of Europe, and was designed specifically to race the Dakar Rally, which is, you know, a 14-day, 14-stage rally that is a lot of dunes and some rough terrain, but nowhere near the amount of rough terrain that we have here in the United States. You know, our deserts produce some of the most wicked conditions on the planet.
Yeah, so, they're pretty deep sand. Now, is this Ford's version maybe closer to one of their street spec trucks, rather, you know, a more accommodating segment of a Ford truck rather than what you're doing to it out there? More of a daily driver.
It's not. It's a specific built race vehicle. My guess would be about a $2.5 to $3 million car.
Oh, okay.
Four-wheel drive. I mean, the acceleration on these things is absolutely remarkable. They're really wicked cars. You know, but
what kind of motors it got in it?
It is running a Ford engine, the Coyote, I believe.
Okay. Okay. So this is a race truck through and through is what this is.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it doesn't have an EcoBoost 6-cylinder in it. This is the real Magilla.
Well, it is. But what's interesting is when they're racing in Europe, they have very tight restrictions, right? So the engine's restricted, the travel's restricted, the wheel size is restricted. But when they come to America, essentially they're racing against our unlimited trucks, right? Which are real unlimited vehicles. So to give you an idea, like the unlimited trucks that we race are 1,000+ horsepower. They have 40-inch tires and 36 inches of wheel travel, right? So unparalleled suspension. When we talk about all different forms of racing, you know, what our vehicles do that's totally remarkable is really the suspension. They don't accelerate, they don't have the highest top speed, and they definitely don't turn like street race cars.
So basically what you're saying is that they wouldn't even know what a curb stop is in the Kroger parking lot.
No, not even, you wouldn't even feel it.
You couldn't even feel it.
No. So,
That's about 6 inches of travel.
Yeah.
right. Like that's what's wild about our form of racing is that we measure travel in feet, not in inches, right?
Yeah.
So like our top trucks are 3 feet of travel, right?
Wow.
So just really remarkable vehicles, just incredible. I mean, 160 miles an hour going over 3 to 3.5 foot, you know, whoops. There's nothing like it in the world.
Matt, and I'm not trying to change the subject here, but what happened to what I considered an extremely popular venue, and that was stadium racing for trucks like this, trucks and other off-road type vehicles? What happened? We all went.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's a great story of really a great American, Mickey Thompson. He started really promoting desert racing and realized he needed to take it to the masses. So he created Mickey Thompson's short course racing, you know, back in the 80s and into the 90s, and really went all over the world. And it was very remarkable. Unfortunately, he was assassinated. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, yes. Very much so.
But, you know, still, you know, there's a lot of people that believe that the person or the people responsible are still not figured out yet. Right. So after his death, it kind of fell apart. Like he was a true, not just a visionary, but he was a guy who could walk into a room and, you know, convince huge corporations to invest into off-road, which, you know, to his credit, led to what we have today in off-road vehicles, even street vehicles. Like I can wholeheartedly tell you that without Mickey Thompson, there'd be no Ford Raptor, right? There'd be no Bronco return, you know, on and on. So it kind of lost its way, and then it changed from stadium to kind of like a bigger track outdoors racing, which we still have today. Like the biggest track we have is Crandon in northern Wisconsin. They do 2 races there a year, and I highly recommend, if you're a motorsports enthusiast and you have the opportunity to go to Fall Crandon, Turn 1 in Fall Crandon is probably the most spectacular thing I've ever seen on all of motorsports. When you have 20+ vehicles going into one corner off camber on dirt, it's wild.
Well, it's Wisconsin, my friend.
We call that
you get you a few beers and some brats, and you're ready for anything.
Yeah, some curds, man. Got to get some curds. Got to get some curds.
Okay, so how are you involved in this? Are you currently in Reno?
No, I actually reside in San Diego.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, poor you.
Yeah, poor you.
I was born, actually, funny story, right? I'm a Michigan kid. I was born in Kalamazoo, and my parents relocated in 1984, dropped us in El Cajon, which is one corner of what we call the Bermuda Triangle.
Bermuda Triangle. Can we? Hey, we're gonna expand that. That's too good right there, Bermuda.
So it's basically, you know, it's San Diego, Las Vegas, and Phoenix. That's what we refer to as the Bermuda Triangle, where all the really the growth of off-road culture, which was born from hot rodding culture, right? So you'll see a lot of crossover names and a lot of parallel people who, you know, took techniques that were being you know, created for making cars go faster in the 1950s, and they put them in off-road.
Well, I have to tell you that, I mean, I'm not an off-roader, but I certainly do appreciate all of the technology that goes into those trucks. I mean, and as you said, you know, you could put 1 million horsepower into anything, but when it comes to the suspension work on these trucks, mainly trucks, because I know that there are other forms other than trucks, but we're focused on trucks here. To see the suspension on these, I have been fortunate enough to see that. You're going, how did somebody manage to put that pencil to paper and create this thing that's like an elevator? Basically.
I know how they did it.
How did they do it, Jeff?
They went, hold my beer, watch this.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's it. Is somebody with a welder and going, you know what? We could probably get at least another foot out of that suspension.
Case of Pabst Blue Ribbon will do it.
That's exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's truly amazing to see how that thing works. And to think that I know that probably this truck is a custom chassis and all of that sort of stuff. But these guys will take an actual stock chassis, gussy it up, and somehow, some way get the suspension travel on the thing and make their own shocks.
Yeah.
All
the fluids and all that.
Yeah. It's truly amazing.
So Ford's got this several $1 million vehicle they're bringing over here to run on your turf. What are some of the other teams? Do they have several $1 million vehicles, or is it like a backyard kind of setup, or what?
Well, yes and no. That's the beautiful thing about our sport in particular, is that we have the top level teams that are the unlimited trucks, which are multi-million-dollar vehicles, right?
Yeah.
And they're spending millions of dollars to race them every year. And then we have 28 different classes of vehicles below that, all the way down to, I'd say the slowest class is still stock VW bugs. So, the great thing is, unlike NASCAR or Formula One, you can still go build something in your garage with your friends and you can come and race our races, right? So, and that's really, for us, like, that's very important, because that's the American spirit that spawned hot rodding, that spawned off-road, right? Like, people built all this stuff in their garages. Now we have an industry now of race vehicles that are being built that are very remarkable and capable, if you have the budget to go that way. So, it kind of gives a space for every budget level to come play in our sport.
Great.
So what do you have, Matt?
I've learned something a long time ago about
keep your money in your pocket and just go enjoy everybody else's dough.
Yeah, basically, like, if it flies, floats, or whatever, right? Then rent it, right? So no, I have a handful of UTVs, which are remarkable vehicles. If you've never been able to either ride in one or go drive one, I highly recommend it. There's a lot of rental places all over the United States where you can go rent a Can-Am or a Polaris. So we've got several of those that we use both for fun and for the work that we do out course marking, several trucks, etc. But no, I get to enjoy racing with other people's things, which is the best way to do it, I feel.
Do you ever get to ride with someone?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very, I guess I would call myself like an off-road tech nerd, right? So when there's new innovation, a new type of vehicle or new shock system or whatever, I want to experience it so I can really speak to it. So, I have the luxury of calling some of our top guys and saying, hey, you guys put this new engine in, it's, 300 more horsepower. I want to see what that feels like. Can I come and take a ride? And most of the time they're excited to, just share the evolution of the technology. And we've had some really cool evolutions as of late. We've just recently been able to have 4-wheel drive vehicles because prior to about, 10 or 15 years ago, we couldn't get the suspension, the 4-wheel drive suspension to live, right? Like, it was predominantly 2-wheel drive vehicles, and now there's some 4-wheel drive vehicles that are starting to make some headway.
So Matt, when is this race?
This race is coming up at the first part of August 12th through the 15th.
Cool part of the year.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little warm, but
in the desert.
The cool thing about this year is that it's the 30th anniversary, and we are running it backwards. So we are running Reno to Vegas, which we've never done. which is going to create all sorts of additional drama because we're racing from a cooler area at elevation down to a hotter area. So typically at the end of the race, the vehicles are pretty spent and you're trying to get it to the finish line. And now you're going into the heat. So it means that the cooling fans and electrical will be running at full clip. So it's going to be a real test of the mechanics of the vehicle. So
are we going to be able to follow along during this race, or how does that work?
Yeah, absolutely. This year also, this will be the first year that we'll be live streaming it. So you'll be able to go and watch the entire race for free on YouTube. As well as one of the coolest innovations that have happened lately is that we've begun attaching Starlinks to the vehicles.
Cool.
So now you can see in cars the entire race via Starlink. So
what do we look up on YouTube?
Just Unlimited Off-Road Racing and Best of the Desert. Both will have the feeds for the YouTube live stream. If you just search for Vegas to Reno, it'll come up as well. Pretty easy to find.
Matt, it's great to talk to you, my friend. Thanks so much for all the info.
Are we now a part of the Bermuda Triangle? Are we part of that now?
Well, it's funny. I was just up in Michigan, in northern Michigan, in Traverse City and South Haven. I'm like, maybe we should loop this part of the country in.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that. That's another show. Matt, thanks again. We appreciate you talking to us.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Matt Martelli. Okay. Hey, be sure and join us for our live show every week. InWheelTime airs Saturdays, 10 to noon, Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. And of course, if you miss it, you can catch 30-minute podcasts of this show at your favorite podcast store. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back after this break.
The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Loopy Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Loopy Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Loopy Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in Houston. Visit any of the Loopy Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Loopy experience with queso flamiado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Loopy beef and chicken fajitas or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Loopy Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Loopy Tortilla. Eats pretty good. The InWheelTime Car Talk Show thanks you for 15 wonderful years. Yep, our first show aired May 7th, 2011 on a local radio station. Then it was a move to the digital world and social media, and you followed. Thank you. We continue to build and grow our fan base, and it's all because of you and your auto enthusiast friends. We appreciate your support. It's always great to see you at our remote broadcast, too, and we hope you'll continue to stop by and say hello. It's been a great ride, and we hope to bring you more fun and adventure right here on the InWheelTime Car Talk Show.
We really appreciate it for our live version of this. It's time now here on the InWheelTime Car Talk Show for our cruise in and events calendars.
Yeah,
we're going to have some headlines after that.
Yep. For next weekend, July 17th, Saturday, you got the Travis County Exposition Center. It's the Texas Heat Wave out of Austin is going on next weekend.
Wow.
So enjoy that if you're out there.
Take an air conditioner.
Yep. And then also Saturday, that would be started Friday, I should say, for the Texas Heat Wave Coast of the weekend. Next Saturday is the Hempstead Watermelon Festival Car Show. It's a barbecue store. Now, this is anybody that knows Houston and northwest part, Highway 6 and 290. This is the old Lawrence Marshall lot. It's where they had the car dealership.
Wait a minute. Didn't he go to jail?
I don't know. That's not in the story, but it is Hempstead Commerce and Civic Association. They're going out there. It's a watermelon festival. Get yourself, bury yourself in some of that sweet red watermelon juices and all that good stuff. 50-50 raffle. There's a big event going on out there. So another Saturday event is the Tint World Cars and Coffee.
Wait a minute. What did you just say?
Tint World.
Oh,
Tint
with an
World.
N in it.
Yeah, it's a new brothel. So either way.
Tint World.
553 South Business Interstate Highway 35. So Tint World Styling Centers host Cars and Coffee every third Saturday. And then on Sunday, the 19th, you got the Will Rogers Memorial Center. This is the 35th annual Yellow Rose Classic Southwest All Ford National Car Show.
Dang.
Yeah.
Can you get that on a bumper?
These are only for Fords that have not been recalled.
Yeah.
This is up in Fort Worth. I'm kidding. Up in Fort Worth.
I'm not.
And this is the 35th annual. I don't know how they count that high because they're up there. And then of course the you got the Willis Classic Car Show coming up, and then of course
What you talking about, Willis?
Car Meets at 403. So that's all going on next weekend. There's a lot of car shows. So in your community, all you got to do is Google car shows in your area. Boom, they'll
Let me
pop
tell you
up.
something. You know, when we started this show, there were maybe a dozen, cruise-ins.
They're all over.
Now, there are so many, there's no way we could ever get to all of them.
Well, you sent me a link to one this past week, and I looked into it, and you got to go through like 20 steps to get in anything hard, concrete information. So a lot for posting. So if you got a car show, you want to advertise it, let us know.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Yep.
Speaking of Ford, this is a story that it's unbelievable, but it's not too far-fetched. Ready?
Yep.
Ford Motor Company reportedly fired an electrician earning more than $200,000 a year at the automaker's most profitable assembly plant over a $1.95 chocolate chip cookie. Kurt Krom told Shifting Gears that Ford had him escorted out of the Kentucky truck plant after accusing the 60-year-old diabetic of stealing a cookie during his overnight shift on May the 9th. Ford had break room surveillance video, according to them, showing him getting a red failed payment screen on a self-service kiosk. But Krom, who was feeling lightheaded at the time, said he successfully swiped his credit card on a second terminal before eating the cookie to raise his blood sugar level. He said, I thought this was all a joke at first. He said, if you wanted to get rid of me, you could have just asked and I'd quit. Why are you doing this over a cookie? Krom later produced a bank statement listing the $1.95 charge.
Wow.
And Ford eventually offered to rehire him after confirming the payment with Aramark, the vendor that operates the kiosks. Yeah. But by then, Krom had already moved back to his hometown in Wisconsin, go Badgers, and gotten a new job with better pay.
So he's making more than $200,000 a year.
We don't talk about individual cases, but there are times when we look into things and realize it could have been handled differently, according to a Ford spokesperson.
Hello.
When that happens, we try to rectify it. We value our employees and want to be as fair as possible. I know a company that's just like that.
Yeah, but I'm waiting for him to say he's got a $10 billion lawsuit against Ford or
A
something.
UAW official told Krom that Ford was changing its policy to suspend workers over suspected break room thefts rather than immediately firing them. Ford also paid Krom $28,000 for 5 weeks of lost wages.
There we go.
That's more than 14,000 times the cost of the cookie it thought he stole. Way to go.
Get his address. I'll send him a box of cookies.
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah.
Drivers across the U.S., including some behind the wheel of performance vehicles, are switching from premium gasoline to regular in a search for savings as fuel prices remain elevated. This from Automotive News. Between June 22nd and June 25th, daily sales of premium gasoline were down nearly 5% by volume compared to the average from February, just before the Iran war led to a rapid spike in prices, according to data from Fuel Cashback app. Upside, mid-grade sales were down 2%, while sales of regular were up about 10%, according to the data. Regular gasoline averaged $3.81 a gallon as of July 3rd, while premium averaged $4.70 a gallon, according to the AAA. That's good for a roughly 90-cent difference between the grades, an all-time high, and premium prices typically stay higher for longer because they don't make as much.
On my truck, on the truck, that's $27 at a fill-up.
Does it only take premium?
No, but I mean, if I put premium, it takes the regular unleaded, but that would be the difference if it was premium, like a Raptor
Yep,
or
there you go. Yeah.
the big TRX or something. You're talking $25-$30
Yes.
every fill up.
Yes. Somebody said, well, I have to run premium in my car. No, you don't. If you are a heavy right footer, then maybe perhaps you could back off the foot just a little bit. But most modern cars today have a thing called an ECU, called an electronic control unit, that it knows and has knock sensors in the engine that if it's not getting enough of the knock reducer in the fuel, i.e. premium, then it backs off the timing of the engine so you don't get engine knock, which is detrimental to engines. So you can run regular in most gasoline engines.
I think even a lot of the more performance ones, it says recommended to run premium. Doesn't necessarily. I'm trying to remember one that says required. Probably some of the Corvettes or the Hellcats or something.
Well, if you run a performance car from like a Hertz or an Avis, they require you to put in the fuel that takes the car, like premium. They ask you to put in.
And what happens if you don't?
Well, that's just it. I don't know because I've done that. That's
what I'm saying. A lot of the gas caps say it's recommended. It doesn't say required.
Yeah, but who knows about these rent car companies and what do? Give it the smell test? Oh, that's regular.
Yeah, they pull the car around to the back to clean it up for the next guy, and there's a gas pump there, and they only got one type of gas.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. I don't. Okay, whatever. But that's the way I see it, and I'm sticking with my.
There you go.
Yeah. The Corvette runs premium. I put premium in it. And about once or twice
we were on a search for Techron on the trip back from Granbury.
We were. And I finally found it. And it was $10 a jug. But I and it's funny because I went to a place, a Chevron station. They didn't have Techron.
What are you talking about, boy?
It's in the gas. It's in the gas over
in the tank. We poured a can in the tank on the ground and we filled it.
And then there was the Dex fuel I was asking questions about. That was another story. The gallon of Dex fuel, how much is that? We'll take that's another day.
Yeah. Road trips are always interesting and fun. All right. It's time now for a break here on the InWheelTime Car Talk Show. Hour number 2 begins right after this. Stay with us.
Your car is a direct reflection of you, so don't be satisfied with color fade or a dingy, dull appearance. Get rid of those terrible automated car wash scratches. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your save the paint company. John Gray and his team of detailing experts can help your car's finish without a full repaint. Searching for real experts in window tint or windshield protection? Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Dash cams, radar detectors, Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Got a new car? Get it protected as soon as you take delivery. If you don't know which of the multitude of protection products to go with, John Gray will give you an honest opinion and won't sell you something you don't need. John will help you understand the many options and pricing right on the spot. He's your guy to have your ride looking its best and protected too. See the state-of-the-art shop yourself. Free tours anytime. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is easy to get to, located just south of the Southwest Freeway on the Sam Houston Parkway. Gulf Coast Auto Shield, full-service luxury car care today and online at gcautoshield.com. Gift giving should be meaningful, and we have an idea. A hand-painted custom illustration of your car from one of the nation's leading artists. Now you can get one or a car show poster customized for you, a friend, or a loved one. Bill Seitz will be happy to guide you through the process. No matter what the day, birthday, anniversary, or any day, an Autographics custom illustration adds an extra touch of class to any home. Call Bill today, 832-922-0963. That's 832-922-0963. That's it for this podcast episode of the InWheelTime Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.